Hey there everyone, Lord Frigid here with another episode of Aether Raid's Offense. Today's video is, of course, for the Astro season just gone by, and I don't know, my season felt odd? I mean, looking at the lift numbers, the season was perfectly fine, but it just felt unpolished, I think is the word. I had an unusually high number of battles where the turns following the first turn of engagement weren't just simple cleanup. I think in some cases the amount of thought required wasn't even really that high, but my tendency to second guess everything in a half made the battles drag on longer than necessary. I don't know, let's just get into them and you can let me know what you think afterward. Or you could not, most people don't anyway, and I can't say that I would mind if you decided to not take a few minutes out of your day to type out, "Yeah, Lord Frigid, you were really dragging your feet in Battle X." Map number 1 is the latest and greatest in prison architecture, combining the power of high movement cavalry with buildings and forest tiles that prevent them from going much of anywhere. Big weaknesses of this map include the wide open space on the right-hand side, allowing you to safely approach and bait the ranged enemies from over the wall, and the defense tiles. Note that if you claim one defense tile, only Brave Ike will be able to attack from the other. The rest of the foes will be forced to attack from unprotected locations, so as long as you can clean up Ike afterward, this map should be no problem. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and deploy the Alphonse raiding party here. One big reason I'm deploying this team instead of the other ones is, one, it allows me to take out the refreshers before Brave Ike is actually able to do much of anything, so he won't be getting any refresh power whatsoever. And two, it's one of the few raiding parties that I have that can actually get all the Aether structures before the enemies kick the bucket. So that's a pretty good deal right there. So let me go ahead and just hit end turn. I will be initiating by smiting Alphonse up 2 spaces to the tactics room. Then I'll take out one of the refreshers, and then I'll have Nils use play and allow Alphonse to take out the other refresher. After that, I can have Altina reposition Nils out to safety, while Alphonse deals with the rest of the enemies on the subsequent enemy phase. So Brave Ike is going to survive that onslaught. So let's go ahead and... Oh, wait, no, I can't actually initiate right now because Altina is not in position to provide an assist to get Nils to safety. So I'm just going to go ahead and take another turn. I mean, it's only turn 3, not a huge deal. So let's go ahead and do that. With Open the Future, Alphonse should be able to take out both refreshers, no problem. So let's go ahead and just smite him up. Micaiah can go first, why not? Doesn't really matter what the order is, I guess. So here we go. And then, as I described, a refresh from Nils. Also gets the play debuffs on Ike. Not that I think it really matters, since Alphonse already applied attack smoke. And yeah, he's definitely going to be surviving the enemy phase. He's going to be on a defense tile and all that jazz. So yeah, I mean, I guess all that's really left to do is sit back, watch Alphonse take out all the ranged units, and then when the player phase rolls around, I'll be able to take the Aether Fountain and finish the job. Maybe I'll stick Micaiah here, just in case I need to apply debuffs and dominance on the next turn to finish Ike off. I don't think I will, but I don't know. We'll see.
Felicitations!
What do you need?
Hooray! Fight your hardest!
Everyone, celebrate!
The second map up is a traditional desert cav line setup. I've gone over this cav line variant before, and most of them, though there are exceptions, are pretty straightforward in terms of what tools you can use to make your life easier, so hopefully I don't sound like a broken record here. In my opinion, the best things you can do to make your desert cav line experience less painful are 1. Keeping some space open at the bottom of your map. 2. Using units capable of 2-range combat on the enemy phase. Altina in particular is a good pick that many players can use, in addition to whatever main combat units you have at your disposal. And 3, Smite, to get your units over the mountains without dealing with the structures. Getting a unit out in front of the structure line can also open up more safe space on the back line, so definitely keep that in mind. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and send in the Sita and Lyon raiding party here. I have to confess that I didn't really calculate these matchups out much beyond, does Aversa seriously threaten Lyon? And the answer is no, she does not. But this could get a little dicey, we'll have to see. I've got Micaiah over in the lower left to deal with Veronica. She can tank her for all 7, or well, 6 actually, since you don't get an enemy phase on turn 7. All 6 of the enemy phases if necessary. And Sita over in the lower right will be able to attack and defeat Leif if he comes towards her thanks to the Feather Sword. So I'm already experiencing the effects of not having run all of these matchup calculations. I was rather hoping to have Lyon take down Lyn so she wouldn't be able to apply the Honed Cavalry buff to Grondblade Gunthra, which is kind of annoying that she's going to deal a lot more damage now, and that all could have been prevented if I just activated Dominance. That is the price you pay for not doing things properly, I guess. Oh well, again, Veronica versus Micaiah, that's not a matchup Veronica's going to win anytime soon or ever, so no trouble there. And Lyon is definitely going to live just by virtue of the team composition here and the skill sets and the fact that he has triangle neutral at least on everyone except for Aversa, who in fact he breaks even with exactly because Aversa's 2 5s are healed perfectly by a soul activation off 20 damage. 2 10s, on the other hand, from Gunthra is going to hurt a little bit more, and he just barely misses that one shot. Now I'm especially annoyed, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, but oh well, at the very least we get to see Fomortiis punching people in the face more. That's always pretty entertaining, not gonna lie. Even if it will take longer to actually finish the map. So we'll see this. He was taken out of quick riposte range by Gunthra, so that kind of sucks. And he's now just going to sink further and further away from it. Leif only deals 2 3s to him, so that's not really a problem, but he only takes a 41 out of 42 HP, which is really annoying. Okay, so again, it's not a big deal. It looks like the heal off of attacking Leif actually put him back above quick riposte range, so he will be able to take out Reinhardt here. That's really nice. And on the next player phase, I think I will need to take down Lyn, and the reason for that is she has a Case Blessing, so if I leave her alive and I leave Sita where she is, I mean, I guess I could always just move her 2 spaces to the left, but meh. I will need to get Lyn out of the way so she doesn't attack Sita, who would not be able to counterattack her. Alright, so let's see. I guess I can just leave the rest of my setup as it is. I don't really expect any change in attack order or combat outcomes. That healing tower activation on what's her name? Sorry. Aversa is a little annoying, but it shouldn't be a huge deal. Okay, Leif, yeah, he's actually dealing he is doing less visible damage this time, same amount of damage post-mitigation. I'm not 100% sure why that is. As I recall, he did 2 6s. There's just something I'm missing here, but oh well. Looks like Lyon will be able to take out Aversa at the start of the next player phase, so that's going to be nice. I was kind of worried I'd have to reposition Naga up to take the KO, which would probably make Veronica shift targets. But fortunately, that is not the case. Lyon can take her right down, and I'll actually use Naga to smite him 2 spaces up so he can get closer to taking down the Aether structures. Or specifically, the Aether Fountain. I'll have Sita, Altina, and Naga, or some combination of them, go up towards the Aether Amphore. So Veronica is going to keep targeting Micaiah here. She's definitely not going to be winning that, and she's definitely not carrying Miracle. So I can just have Micaiah one-shot her at the end of all of this once I've gotten the Aether structures out of the way. Let's go ahead and I'm not really sure what those debuffs are. I'm pretty sure it's just Clyd Skjalf, but yeah, so I don't really think I need to take out the Dark Shrine. I don't think it's affecting matchups at all. And I'll actually go ahead and have Naga go up here so I can finish this off on the next turn.
I'm ready.
Tear them to shreds.
Let's go together.
Be safe.
Together forever.
Today's final map is a box layout, which is quite unconventional in that it uses field buffs very heavily. Usually defense maps avoid that due to the existence of Aversa, Panic Manner, Sudden Panic, etc. This one is interesting in that it uses Harsh Command Plus as a way of dealing with panic. This can end up reducing the amount of units that are capable of covering the threatened space, but the trade-off is that the recipients of Harsh Command Plus will become significantly more threatening with their buffs active. Of course, Distant Def 4, Dull Ranged, and to a lesser extent Lulls can diminish the impact, but it's a pretty interesting strategy. To approach maps like this, I definitely recommend taking advantage of the defense tiles. With no buff nullification of their own, these units will be hard-pressed to deal with a stat-stacked 2-range tank on a defense tile. I would say that only Nino would probably have the firepower to punch through a well-built 2-range tank here. If you do go this route, I recommend breaking the Dark Shrine, opening up a nice safe space that the enemy will want to attack from, which is also conveniently out of the range of both refreshers. You might also be able to get some mileage out of a hit-and-run Gale Force strategy if you can take down Olivia. This may, however, prove difficult depending on how well your units can deal with her when she's got a full suite of +6 buffs. If that is within your power, then on the enemy phase, Azura's Refresh will have to go to Aversa, since the rest of the foes will move too far for Azura to reach them, and Aversa's Refresh threat range is no greater than the initial range you see right now. So this map is just begging me to just drop Lyon on the defense tile and wait for things to happen. So let's go ahead and get set up for that. I will want to break the Panic Manner, which will allow Lyon to apply and keep his Rouse Attack Res buffs. So let me go ahead and get set up for that. I believe I just need to break some structures over here. And let's take a look. I think if I just end turn, I'll have Naga smite Lyon up 2 spaces. Then he can take out the Panic Manner and get repositioned to safety by Altina. So let me go ahead and just bump him up. And when I do eventually initiate combat, the first thing, actually, backtracking a little bit, I do need to take 2 more turns to get Lyon out on his lonesome again, so he will get his Rouse Attack Res buffs. Then when the time comes, I'll smite him up 2 spaces again with Naga, and have him break the Dark Shrine, which will open up that space for either one of the 2 cavalry units to attack him. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. So I put Lyon here and Naga there, perfect. I guess... Do I need to break that Black Eagle banner? I don't think I do, so let's just go ahead and have Sita go down here. And now, let me take a look at this situation. Yeah, let's go ahead and use this duo skill.
Take my hand.
So, at the bare minimum, what it'll do is it'll force either Lynn or Reinhardt to use Harsh Command and burn up a refresh. So that's always nice. And let's go ahead and keep my units pretty far away, because if Reinhardt does move to Harsh Command, as he does, then his range does get extended, which could be a bit annoying. Not a problem here, since none of my units are in his range right now, and Lyon will be able to take him out very cleanly here. So Aversa is going to get refreshed into attacking Lyon, and predictably, Lyon on a defense tile with Blood Tome. Nothing at all happens to him off of that engagement. So let's go ahead and take out Lynn here. The Fire Sweep Bow is really annoying, and I do actually need to get him out of this situation because he's in range of Olivia, and that matchup does not look anywhere near as good for him as the rest of them. So let me go ahead and I think I need to get Sita up here. Do I reposition her with Altina or smite her with Naga? I think smite her with Naga. That way I have the option to reposition Lyon out further if I need to. I don't think I'll need to, but we'll see. Let me take a look here. If I do reposition with Sita, is it a problem that I'm leaving her there? I don't think it is. The only units that can attack her are Azura and Aversa. Olivia won't be able to reach that space, so that should be okay. And honestly, Aversa probably attacks first, since I'm almost certain she deals more damage than Azura does, even with that Grand Blade. So let's go ahead and I can actually also put Altina all the way up here, get progress towards the Aether Fountain, because no way does Aversa kill her. Alright, Aversa does end up attacking first, which means the 2 refreshes will advance basically harmlessly. So let me take a look and see how I want to handle this. Sita should be able to one-shot Olivia with effectiveness on Feather Sword, so let's go ahead and do that. And then to get the Aether structures,
Keep up.
let me go ahead and actually
Little
smite Lyon up 2 spaces. Or, sorry, 1 space. Of course, the second space is being blocked off by Sita, but 1 space is all he needs to take out the fountain. And then, in order to avoid Azura dying, 56 attack, she won't have any buffs.
Let's go together.
I'm not 100% sure what that comes out to, but it's less than 72.
Certainly.
So Naga should be able to survive that, since she has over 30 res and 42 HP. Of course, 72 coming from the fact that 60 times 1.2 is 72. So I do definitely have the capability to take out Azura in one shot here, so I'll have Naga repositioned over to the Bolt Trap, which was real, makes things even easier, and that's it. And that is it! I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Aether Raid's offense. It was pretty fun getting to use bonus unit Micaiah, even if I wasn't as liberal with her duo skill as I could or should have been. Ah well, it all worked out in the end. As you are all well aware, next week we will be heading back into Light Season, which should be pretty interesting. Most of my raiding parties are using Raphael as a bonus unit, though there are a couple where he just didn't really fit, as odd as that may sound. I also finally got around to pulling a legendary Eliwood and managed to find a team to stick him on, so we'll see if I can get anywhere with that. Either way, I hope to see you all in a week for the next episode of Aether Raid's Offense. So, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you next time.